Hello guys, good day. So for this video, we are going to continue the discussion of engineering economy. So for today, we are going to discuss annuity. So we have a formula for annuity. The future amount is equal to the A here is the periodic amount, payment or investment. So that is equal to or A multiply to 1 plus I raised to n prime, wherein n prime is the number of payments. Okay, minus 1 all over I. So now you can also express that into present time. So anyway, if even yung memorize lang natin is the future amount, um, you can also express that into present amount by the formula na from compound. So P is equal to 1 plus I raised to N. So if you are going to rewrite this, so it will be like this. No? So just substitute F here. So you have the annuity 1 plus I raised to N prime minus 1 all over I. So you are going to arrive with this formula. Now we also have the perpetuity. Perpetuity is the infinite payments of the periodic amount A. Okay, so no limit for this. Now let's try to solve for let's try to solve problems regarding the annuity. So let's try to solve problem number 8. If 500 pesos is invested at the end of each year for 6 years at an annual interest rate of 7%, what is the total peso amount upon the deposit of sixth payment? Okay, so we have two solutions for this problem. Okay, so the first solution, okay, is by using the formula of annuity. So for you to understand the annuity, so let's try to put okay, the given to a cash flow diagram. Now, if 500 peso is invested at the end of each year, so this 500 peso is the A, which is the equal payment. No, at the end of each year. So meaning, okay, so this is the present amount. Now, the future amount is here. So you are going to pay A at the end of each year. This is the duration of 1 year. Okay, 2 years. So, the end of 1 year is, andin dito, end of second year, and then up to 6 years. Okay? At an annual interest of 7%, what is the peso, total peso upon the deposit of the sixth payment? So, the question here is the future amount. Okay? Not the present, kasi the total peso amount. When we say total peso amount, after the sixth payment, so you are going to accumulate all of this equal annual payment. Okay? So we'll just use the formula for the annuity. So since there is an equal out annual, there is an equal payment of A. Okay, so let's substitute that to this formula. A is equal to 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 over I. Actually, it should have n prime here. N prime represents to the number of payments. So let's substitute. Okay? So 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. Okay, so we are required to solve the future amount. Okay, so let's substitute. A is 500, 1 plus. Take note, class. I here doesn't mean that is already the 7%. Now it depends, no? So you should divide the interest rate by the number of payment per year. Okay, so for example, 7%, we should divide this by, since the payment is every year, should divide that by 1. If that is quarterly, you should divide that by 4. Okay, just like what we've done on the compound interest. So we divide the interest rate by, actually this is M. no? If you are going to recall the previous discussion. So, raised to n prime refers to the number of payments up to yung last payment. So, so for this problem, we have total 6 payment. So, minus 1 divided by I. Again, I is the interest rate divided by the value of M. Okay, so for 1 year, that is 1, for annually, that is 1, quarterly, that is 4, monthly, that is 12. So with that, you can now solve the value of F. Okay, so the value of the future amount after the end of 6 years is 3576.65. Solution number 2, okay, we are just going to use this formula. Okay, the compound formula. However, ang mangyayari kasi dito class, yung 500 isa-isa dadalhin natin into 6th year. Okay, so each of the equal payment will be um moved to the 6th year. So we are just going to use simple compound. Actually, the annuity was derived from the simple compound or from the compound interest. So let's try to, okay, use this instead, no? Solution number 2. So, however, we are going to sum again, no? Because we have here a lot of present. We are going to consider this as our present. And then, dadali natin siya doon sa future. So, ito muna, yung una. So, that is 500. Okay? Times, so, that is a present amount, 1 plus 7% over 1 raised to x because each of them ay may iba't ibang number of years. N here represents to the number of years. For this 500, so dadaan siya ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Now for this 500, dadaan siya ng 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Now for this 500, dadaan siya ng 1, 2, 3 years. For this 500, dadaan ng 1, 2 years. For this 500, dadaan ng 1, and then finally ito 0 lang. So that's why our limit here is from 0, 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to 5, no? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 to 5. Now, we don't actually use the formula of annuity, but instead you just use the summation function of your calculator. Okay, so you can find the summation function at ups. Yeah, number 2, summation. Then let's just type 500 multiply to, okay, multiply to 1 plus the 7% over 1, then raise to x. Okay, raise to x. Now, the limit is from 0 to 5. And we have the same answer, 3576.645. Okay? So we just use the cash flow diagram. No? Instead of using the formula, just use the cash flow diagram. Okay, next problem. Problem number 9. If 500 pesos, again, is deposited in an account at the beginning of each year. So as you can see here, beginning of each year ang payment. Now, instead of the annuity kasi the formula was derived from to get the future amount. So the last payment is aligned with the future amount. So you're going to accumulate this A up to the last payment and then you have the future amount. However, for this problem, it was deposited at the beginning of each year, meaning for 1 year, it was deposited here at time is equal to 0. Okay, so that was that is the first payment. So at time is equal to 0. Now, second payment, Okay? Beginning of each year. So this is second year, third year, fourth year, five, and sixth year. This is the beginning of the sixth year. Okay? Beginning of sixth year. So therefore, if you're going to use the formula annuity F, okay, so we can just get the accumulated amount up to, okay, we can just get the accumulated amount up to this point because from the formula, the future amount is aligned with the last payment. So therefore, what are we going to do is we are just going to transfer it to the end of 6 year. Kasi dito, no, how much withdrawn after 6 years. So after 6 years, the end of 6 years pa natin kukunin yung money. Okay? So yan. So applying the formula, again, the formula refers to the total payment up to the beginning of the sixth year. So if you're going to use the formula, A, the number of equal payment, 1 plus I is 7% over annually. That is 1 raised to n prime. That is the number of equal payment. That is not the number of years, ha? That is the number. How many times you pay the equal payment. Okay? So that is 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. So you have 6 times equal payment. Okay, so minus 1 divided by I, that is 7% over 1. Okay, this is the future amount at 5 years. Take note of that, no? At the end of 5 years. However, you're going to move this future amount in 5 years going to future amount to 6 years. So how are we going to do that? So we're just going to use, okay, this 5 years, we're going to move it to 6 years. We're just going to use the compound, no, interest. So we are going to treat this value F5 as the present amount, no, present amount here is the present amount. Then we're going to transfer it for 1 year to F6. Okay? So meaning, the value of n here, number of years, is just equal to 1. Kasi 1 year lang naman yung travel niya. The present amount, again, is the value here. So you have here the F5, and then you'll just multiply it to 1 plus I raised to 1. Okay? So with that, it will now become the future amount at 6 years. Okay, see, this is also known, this problem is also known as deferred annuity. No? However, just if you encounter this problem, so do not memorize yung formula ng deferred annuity. Okay, this is actually the formula of deferred annuity. So you use this and then you still multiply it by 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, that is the formula for deferred annuity, meaning you pay at the beginning of each year. Okay, so eto, you pay at the end of each year. This one, you pay at the beginning of each year, including the 1 plus I raised to it. It's up to you kung gusto nyo kabisaduhin yung deferred annuity. Kasamahan mo lang naman nito. Again, at the beginning, okay, of each year, yung payment. However, you can still use the annuity formula. No, yung normal na annuity, just transfer it. Okay, kung how many doon sa end of that year. Okay? So now let's try to move on problem number 10. A fund is to provide an annual scholarship of at 4,000 for the first 5 years, 6,000 for the next 5 years, 9,000 thereafter. The fund will be established 1 year before the first scholarship is awarded. If the fund earns 12% interest, what sum must be deposited? So let's draw a cash flow diagram. So it would be easier for us to analyze the problem if we have this cash flow diagram. So at the start, a fund is to provide. So you need a fund. Okay. So meaning that a fund is being deposited at the beginning of the year, no? So you need here the present amount that will sustain this scholarship. So what will be the scholarship? Annual scholarship of 4,000 for the first 5 years. So for the first 5 years, of course, that is the end, no, of every year. So you are going to fund 4,000, okay, every year for the first 5 years. Then 6,000 for the next 5 years. Then 9,000 thereafter. When I say thereafter, so infinite na yan. So walang katapusan. Up to infinity. So you need to put 9,000. So again, the fund will be established 1 year before the first scholarship is awarded. So 1 year before the first scholarship. So we should have here a fund. How much is that fund? So meaning we're just going to get all the present amount of this. So this is annuity, no? This is also annuity, equal annual payment. And this one, up to infinity, this is actually perpetuity. Okay, perpetuity. So, let's get the future amount of this first annuity natin dito. Okay, then we are just going to move it to the present amount. Okay, so we know that the formula for the future amount for the annuity A 1 plus I raised to n prime. So we have here uh -1 -1 all over, okay, this is the formula for the annuity, all over I. Okay, so 1 plus I raised to n prime -1 all over I. Now, if we are going to put that on a present amount, so this is FA. So just use the compound interest formula. Compound interest P, 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, so meaning, you just divide this to get the future amount. I mean, to get the present amount, you just divide this future amount by 1 plus I. So to get this present, you just need to divide this by 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, so that we have this formula. Okay, so just divide the future amount by 1 plus I raised to n. Take note class, we have here different, no? Different notation. N prime refers to the number of payments. N is the number of years it travels, no? For example, this one, FA, how many years will it travel from 5 to 0? Okay? So N prime, how many times you pay the equal payment of 4,000? So let's substitute that. Okay, so let's substitute. So we have 4,000, 1 plus I, we have here I is equal to 12%. Okay, interest. So annual, actually, this interest rate, walang mention na what type of interest is that? Is that annual interest rate or or monthly interest rate? So therefore, we just assume that this is annual interest rate. So that 0.12 was divided by 1. Okay. So raised to 5 minus 1 divided by I, which is 0.12, 1 plus I. Okay. Again, the I here must be divided by the M. Okay. Which is the M refers to a divisor na 1 if that is annual, 4 pagka quarterly, 12 pag year, monthly. Then raise to 5. Bakit 5 yan? Kasi 5 years from the future amount. Okay, it travels 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we get the value of PA of 14,419.1. Okay, so based on you need, let's say, if the only question here is If you need to fund 4,000 pesos for 5 years, what should be the present amount? What should be the fund needed? No, for this allowance only, no? However, meron pa tayo ditong 6,000. We just need to move to get the future amount first and then transfer it to the present amount. Okay? So, next, let's get the future amount for this 6,000 equal payment. We'll be needing the annuity formula. This one, annuity. That is the future. Okay, now if you move it to the present, you just divide this. Okay, if you are going to move it to the present, you just divide this by 1 plus I raised to n. So let's substitute. Okay, so 6,000, 1 plus I raised to n prime. N prime is the number of payments. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 payments. Minus 1 over I, 1 plus I raised to 10. Bakit 10 to? Again, 10 refers to the number of years from future to the present. How many years? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years up to this present. Okay? So do not be confused with n prime and n. They are different. Again, n is the number of years from future to present or present to future. Now, then, so substituting the given, okay, so the answer here is 12,272.68. Okay, so we now have the present amount. Okay, the fund needed to sustain this 6,000, okay, per year, no, for 5 years. Now, the infinite, now this one, 9,000, we need 9,000 per year up to infinity. So how do we get the future amount for that? So unfortunately, we cannot get the future amount for this perpetuity. Okay, the infinite annuity is the perpetuity. So if you're going to get the future amount, we don't have solution for that. However, for the future amount, we have. Okay, but take note ha, hindi po nakatapat dito ang present amount for that. Okay, so the formula says that the present amount should be deferred, no? Dito sa beginning. So, dito natin class makukuha yung present amount of this 9,000 deferred by 1 year. Okay, so we can get here the present amount. Okay, hindi tapat dito ha. So, now what we are going to do is to move this present amount by the perpetuity, we are going to move it to the present time. So, by still using this formula, no, this one, okay, so it came from present, future is equal to 1 plus I raised to n. Again, P here, future here, this is the future amount, okay, represented by the annuity. We are just going to move it to its present amount. Okay, what is the formula for perpetuity? Is what? The perpetuity is A over I, that's it. A over I. Okay. So far we have I of 0.12. Now if the I here, if the problem is annual payment, that should be I or 0.12 over 1. If that is a monthly payment, that should be 0.12 over 12. If that is a quarterly payment, 0.12 over 4. Now take note of that. This is not just a normal I, the interest rate, but you have to divide this, no, by a certain value, referring to the how many times you pay every year. Okay? Now, so that is 75,000. We're just going to move it back to the present time. So just divide, no? If you are going to move it back to the present time, okay? Oh, sorry, this one. So we're going to move it back to the present time. You just divide this, this future amount by 1 plus I raised to n. So that's 1 plus I raised to n. Bakit 10? So because we have how many years from this 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Okay? So we have 24,147.99. So summing all of this fund, no? So this fund needed for 4,000. This fund needed for 6,000. And this fund needed for the perpetuity 9,000 up to infinity. So just add this. This is the total fund needed at present time. 50,839.78. Now let's discuss gradient series. Okay. When we say gradient series, it is almost the same with you pay annual payment. However, there is there is a constant increase of that annual payment. So this is the formula for uniform gradient and this is the geometric gradient. So let me discuss later what is the uniform and geometric gradient. Anyway, it is not necessary to memorize this formula because we have a technique. Okay, it is not necessary to memorize this formula because we have technique to calculate the future amount, okay, for the gradient series and also for the arithmetic or gradient series. Okay, so let's try to solve this problem. A certain machine purchased today shall be paid three annual unequal payment with no down payment. If the company agrees that the first payment is 120,000 at the end of the first year and you have to increase that by 30% per year for the next remaining years until the end of third year, how much is the present worth of the machine if the company charges 12% annual interest? So let's try to draw a cash flow diagram. Okay, a machine is purchased today, shall be paid three annual unequal payment. Okay, the first payment, okay, of course, that is annual. So the first payment must happen at the end of the year, no? At the end of the first year. So that's 120. So and you have to increase that by 30,000. So meaning this 120,000 will become 130, 120 plus 30. So that is 150,000. How much is the next for 33 years you're going to pay this? That's 120 plus 2 times. Of course, you increase again, no? Per year. The increase per year is 30,000. So this problem is uniform gradient series because we have an addition, no? Addition of equal amount. So you have an equal amount payment, but it is increasing, no, per year by an additional equal amount. So nag plus 30 ka dito, plus 30 ulit, so total na plus 60. So if how much is the present worth of the machine? So if the company charges 12% annual interest rate, actually we have a shortcut here. Just put just move you are going to set this as future amount, then move it to the present time. Then just use the formula for the compound interest. Compound interest, okay, P 1 plus I raised to N. Okay? Again, I is interest rate divided by M. N is the number of years. Okay? Or M times P. We can also express that as M times T. If that is annual, that is just number of years. So, ganun lang gagawin natin. Then sum their present payment. Just like what we've done doon sa annuities. Just sum their present payment. Okay? So, yeah, that's it, no? We're just going to use this formula F over 1 plus I. Anyway, if you are going to sum here, so you can just use the calculator, eh. Instead of summing it individually, so you just need the summation formula. Okay? So, future amount. So, we're just going to create a formula here. Instead of typing it manually. Actually, you can type it manually. For example, Okay, we are going to get the present amount of 120,000 at first year. So, di ba, this is the formula. Okay, so let's try, no? 120. So, 120, 1, 2, 3. Okay, future over 1 plus I. So, 1 plus I, 1 plus, the interest rate is 0.12. Then raised to how many years? Okay, ilang years siya magta-transfer papunta sa 0, papunta 0. Of course, that is 1 year. Raised to 1. Ah? Then plus. Okay, plus the the 150,000, the second year, no? So meaning you're just raise this to 2. Okay, then the 180, no, plus 50,000 plus another 30,000. So this will be 180,000. So you are going to raise it 1 plus 0.12 raised to 3. Yan. 1, 2, yeah, 3. So that is 3. So 1, 1, 2, and 3. 3 years. Okay, so answer here is 300. This is the present amount, 354,842.383. Let's store this value and then we are going to compare it to this, no, to this derived formula. Instead of summing it one by one, so you just derive a formula which will also represent. Now, instead of, so let's create this formula, no? So, 120 plus, initially, di ba? At 1 year, okay, at 1 year, so you don't need to add. So, kaya nag-x minus 1 ako dito. So, at first year, so it will be a 0 value. Over, so 1 plus I raised to x. Actually, ito lang din yun, no? Parang ginawa lang nating summation. Okay. So, instead of putting it individually, so just create a formula for that. Or pwede mo namang isa-isahin yan, class. It's up to you kung so minus 1 over 1 plus 0.12 raised to x from of course first year, no, from first year to third year, from 1 to 3. Okay, 358. Let's check the answer. Okay, so from 1 to 3. So answer is 354.355842, which is also the same to our previous answer, 354842. Okay, so it's up to you on how you're going to get this answer, by individually taking the present amount or use the summation so that it will save time. Oh, okay, how about the let's try to solve this problem number 12. So this problem number 12 is about the geometric gradient. Earlier, we solved the arithmetic gradient. So what is the difference of this problem? So let's try to solve this. Annual maintenance cost for a machine is 1.5 this year and estimated to increase 10% each year every year. So what's the present worth of the maintenance cost for 4 years if the interest rate is 8%? So for 4 years, so first, we are going to identify the present worth, no, of those annual maintenance costs. So the first maintenance cost is 1,500 and it will increase 10%. So meaning this 515 will increase by 10%. So you just need to multiply this by 1.1, no? 1.5 times 1.5. Then on the second year, you are going again to multiply this by 1 plus 1.1. 1 by 1 plus 0.1 or 1.1, or technically you just square it, take the square. So that is the the geometric gradient. Earlier you just add a constant value. So from the previous problem, you add every year 30,000. For this, you are going to add a certain percentage. Okay, so again, you add another percentage of 10%. from the previous payment, and then you are going to add like again a 1.1. Okay, multiply again this to 1.1, or meaning you add 10%, so it is now cube. Now, to solve the present work, you just bring all these values, future values at first year, that's a future value already. You can bring it back to the present amount. Okay, you can bring it back to the present amount, present, so present, then present, then present. Now we have the formula, no, for the present amount. So present amount is equal to future over 1 plus I raised to n. Okay, n is the number of years. I is the percent interest. So let's use that formula. Okay, so we have, okay, isayin natin guys, no? So future natin is 1.5 for the first year divided by, okay, so 1 plus I. 1 plus I is 0.08, 0.08%. Then you are going to raise it by, no, raise to 1. Okay, plus, okay, you move again the 1,500. Okay, this is now the second year, 1 point, uh, okay, 1.1. Okay, so 1.1 over the interest rate, 1 plus, we're now here, ito na yung present amount. So, ilang years yan? Okay, so, 1.1, 1.08, no, 1.08, raise to 2 years na to, no? 2 years na yung papunta dyan. Okay, raise to 2 or squared. Okay, then plus yung third year na. So, 1.5 times 1.1 squared na to. Squared. Over, so 3 year, 1 to 3 years na to, no? 1.08 raised to 3. Okay, 3 years na natin to transfer. Plus, okay, finally, the 1.5, actually, hindi kasha. Kasha ba to? 1.1, hindi kaya. Add na lang natin yung plus. Okay, then plus, 1.15 times 1.1 raised to 3 over the number of years 1 plus I natin is 0.08. Number of years is 4. Okay, so let us check kung same, I think, yan, same naman ang sagot. So, that is 5,700. Okay, yan, 711. Or, if nahihirapan ka, i-type madami ng isa-isa, you can just present those summation using this function, no? Summation function. So, sa first year natin, so, 'di ba 1.5, wala pa dapat nito, kaya yung x mo minusan mo ng 1. Okay, so it always increase by 1 plus 0.1, as you can see here. So dito class, meron ditong 1 plus 0.1 raised to 0. Okay, so kaya naka x minus 1 tayo dito. We just present yung individual na ginagawa natin kanina by a formula. Okay, divided by 1 plus 0.08 raised to x. Kasi we start here 1 year, dito 2 years, 3 years, and then 4 years. So, if you don't want to individually put this into present or a certain future, so you can just use the, no, the summation. Okay, summation formula. Okay, so that's it for gradient of series. The next topic natin is about the capitalized cost. This is just formula based. For the capitalized cost, this is the capital, meaning the present amount. That is first cost plus OM over I plus RC minus SB over 1 plus I raised to N. So RC meaning this is the replacement cost. Okay. So first cost is the initial amount. First cost initial amount of the project. OM is the operation or maintenance cost. I is the interest rate. RC is the recovery cost. SV is the salvage value. Meaning, you are now going to let's say you have an equipment, you are going to sell it at a salvage value, at a very small value, and then you are going to pay to buy again a new one. So that is the replacement cost, RC. Okay, so this is just a formula base. So just memorize this formula. Okay, you don't have to draw a cash flow diagram. Now, if you want to get the annual cost, so just multiply the capitalized cost, the present, to the interest. Okay, annual cost. Again, K is the capital, the present amount. Now, if you want to know the yearly budget you need for a uh, for a business, so you just multiply the capital to the interest. Okay? So let's try to solve this problem. A machine costs 300,000 new. So ano to? Of course, that is the first cost and must be replaced at the end of 15 years. So from the formula earlier, so N here is the number of replacement, no? So number of years bago palitan. So this is the N. Okay, if the annual maintenance cost, OM, 5,000, find the capitalized cost, the K. Okay, this is OM. Yan. I is 5% and the final salvage is V. Okay? So the formula for the capitalized cost, FC plus first cost plus OM over I plus RC minus SB. However, for this problem, we don't have the value of RC, the replacement cost. If we don't have the value for that, just assume that the first cost is just equal to the replacement cost. Okay, so with that, we can now substitute 300,000 is the first cost, operating maintenance cost, 5,000 over the interest plus the replacement cost or the first cost pa rin minus so yes, no, minus salvage value, that is 50,000 over 1 plus I, which is 5% raised to 15 years minus 1. Okay? So the answer is equal to 631,711.44. If you want to solve the annual cost, just multiply the K by the interest rate. Now, if the annual cost is being asked. Okay, next topic is depreciation. Depreciation is the decrease in the value of the asset due to the usage or passage of time. So we have different formula for the depreciation, but this is the very important here. Okay? The first cost minus the depreciation. So we have a large D here and we have small d. Small d refers to depreciation per year. For example, no, we have different type of depreciation. Straight line method, sinking fund method, and later on meron pang iba. For straight line method, so we do not include the interest here. For example, it decreases at an equal value D. Okay. Now, the first cost, okay, to get the salvage value cost, so you just subtract all of this D. So that is already the salvage value. That is straight line. You don't consider the interest. For sinking fund method, almost same sila ng flowchart diagram. But for this, you are now going to consider the interest. Okay, so let's try to solve problem. Okay. Number 14. An engineer bought an equipment for 500,000. Other expenses, including installation, amounted to 30,000 at the end of its estimated useful life of 10 years. The salvage value will be 10% of the first cost. Using straight line, so you have to look for this term. What type of differentiation is present on the problem? Now for this one, straight line method. What is the book value after 5 years? When you say book value, that is the value at that time. Uh, Subtracting, that is just first cost minus the total depreciation for 5 years. Okay, that is the book value. Okay. So let's draw the flow chart. So initially, the equipment was bought 500 plus the installation. That is 530,000. Useful life years is 10. Okay? And then the salvage value is 10% of the first cost. Meaning, okay, that is the final cost of the equipment. That is the salvage value. Okay, 53,000. That is 10% of the first cost. So the question here is what is the amount of that to after 5 years? So meaning after 5 years. So this is first, second, third, fourth. After 5 years, no? What will be its um total cost or the book value at 5 years? So you just need to identify the value that we are going to subtract from BV1, from depreciation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So meaning we are going to identify the common values. So these are equal values, no? Equal values sila, yung 1 to 5. So what are those equal values? Para malaman natin yung class. Okay, so depreciation, total depreciation at 10 years, we just need to identify kung ilan yung nabawas from 530,000 up to 53,000. Ilan lahat yung nabawas. No? So, first cost minus the salvage value. So, we have 477. So, that is the total depreciation. Okay. So, meaning we just need to divide this by 10 years because we have total of 10 years. Dividing by 10 years, okay, that is the depreciation every year. So, nababawasan ng 47,700 yung money or yung cost every year, constant. So, meaning itong 53,000. So, the first book value is 53,000 minus 47,700. Okay? So if you are going to identify those values, so the book value is just first cost minus the depreciation. Ayan, so let's check if that's correct. So, for example, 530, 1, 2, 3, just subtract the 47, the equal depreciation, 47,700. O, diba? 482, 300. Then, if you want to identify the value at second year, less again by 47,700. 434,600. Less again, no? The 47,700. Okay, that's it, no? Less again, 47,700. That is fourth year value. Then less again, okay? 47,700. Okay, so less 47,700. Oh, this is now the book value. Okay. But if the question is determine the total depreciation at 5 years, okay, for example, we were asked to identify the total depreciation, just subtract 530 and then 291,500. That's the total depreciation for 5 years. 530, 1, 2, 3 minus 291, 500. So, this is the total depreciation, yung binaba ng presyo. I mean, yung total na nabawas, yung nawala doon sa presyo. Okay, 238. Okay? So, answer, book value. Okay, 291,500. Actually, we have different solution for we have um solution number two for this. So using mode 3.2. Okay. So using mode 3.2, using mode 3.2, mode 3.2 is linear. Okay, linear. So so you just put the values of zero, that is the present year, and then the salvage value, salvage year, 10 years, ito present value, and then its corresponding salvage value, which is 53,000. Now, if you want to get the price or its value at 5 years, so just okay, CA, just put CA and then ups, type ups, then find the regression and then y hat. Okay, y hat. So y hat, because we want to solve the y. We want to solve the y here. Yan. Okay, at corresponding what value? Okay, we want to solve the y. Okay, for corresponding value of 5 years. 5 yung x, and we want to solve the y. 5y hat. So that's it, no? Same answer with 291,500. Okay, that is straight line method mode 3. Okay, mode 3 to straight line method. Okay, number 15. Okay, different method. You're now going to sinking fad method. Well, actually, sinking fad method and straight line method is almost the same. However, for this, we are now considering the percentage of the depreciation or percent of the interest, no, of the amount. For the sinking fund, okay, let's say for the first that a pickup truck costs 960,000 and expected to be used for 10 years and its salvage value is 160,000. We can easily get the total depreciation. Total depreciation is equal to 960 yung nabawas, no? 960,000 minus 160. Yan, that's it, no? Total depreciation. Okay. So, total depreciation. Once you, okay, in straight line method, you just add this. Add the depreciation every year. And then you get this value. Yung 960 minus 160. This one, from the previous problem. Okay, sorry. So, equal depreciation here. So, straight line method, no? They have equal depreciation here. So, nag-depreciate siya ng 47,700. So, D here is 47,700. D at second year is 47,700. D here is 47,700. Okay? It is almost the same with the sinking fund method. Okay? However, we are now going to consider the interest, meaning um almost the same to with the annuity. Okay? So let's solve first the total depreciation. Okay, or the total of this small equal depreciation every year. So that is 960 minus 160. This is 800,000. So it is not the same with how we solve the D from the previous problem. We solved the D from the previous problem, 800,000. If you are going to use straight line method, the 800,000 times 8 times 10, that is 80,000, no? But this is not the straight line method. Do not use this. Do not use this formula. But instead, use the annuity formula. So, what is the annuity formula? This one. Okay? So, the annuity formula is F future amount, which is the total depreciation, we are just going to identify the amount of 800,000 per year. Okay, this one. Okay, so this A represent to D, this F represent to the large D, the total depreciation. Okay, so let's substitute. 800,000. D, smaller d, we are going to identify this. 1 plus 0.08, that is the percentage. And here represent to the number of years over I, the percentage. No, of rather the interest rate. So minus 1. So using the annuity formula, this is just the annuity formula, no? For sinking fund method, just always remember, you're going to use annuity here. So we can now solve the value of D. Now, what if we want to identify the book value? What do you mean by book value? The value at 5 years. For 5 years, so the present amount was deducted by 5D. It is not just 960, 960,000 minus 5 times D, ah. No, you can use this. You can do this for um straight line method. Let's go back to straight line method. We can do this now to calculate the book value at 5 years. Okay, straight line method. You can use this to straight line method. Straight line. This one. Okay, we can solve this book value at 5 years by subtracting the present year. What? 530 is the present year. 3 minus 5 times the equal depreciation. This one, letter D, 47,700. Okay, so that's it, no? So, instead of minus and multiply isa-isa hanggang makarating ka ng 5 years, just multiply this to 5, no? So, however, you cannot do that to the sinking fund method because this D is different. If you are going to put this D here, that will be a different value because we have an interest rate. So thus, we are going to use here the annuity again. We are going to add all of this equal payment in terms of annuity. Okay? So we are going to, 3 years lang pala to, no? Third year lang pala, sorry. So we are going to identify the book value at the third year. Okay? So, let's solve. So, we are going to sum all of this. What is the formula? We'll be using again this formula. Okay, so the D3, okay, the accumulation of this 3 by using the same formula, the future amount, so the equal payment, 55,000. Okay, 1 plus I raised to 3 because we only have here 3 payment. Okay. Again, N here does not refer to the number of years. It refers to the number of payments. Okay, 3 payments. Minus 1 over the interest rate. So, the D3, the total depreciation, yung nabawas is 179,277.87. So, from the original price, 960, reduce it by 179. Okay? So, what will be the book value? Okay? At 3 years. 960 minus 179,277.87. That is 780,722.4. So, that is the book value. Okay? At third. We don't have calculator technique here. No, just recall the annuity formula. Okay, number 16, different type of the um depreciation, which is sum of the years method. Sum of the years method. So how do we use this? You don't have to memorize the formula. Just take note of this. Now, sum of the years method, you're just going to type the number of years up to set the salvage value 1 to list down up to 10. And then just add all of those years. Kaya nga, sum of the years. So, adding, that is 55. Now, uh, list backwards the number of years, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This 10 years to calculate the depreciation at the first year, okay, you just multiply it by, okay, kunin mo yung, just like what you've done doon sa straight line method, you subtract uh, the first cost minus the salvage value divided by the sum of the years. Okay, divided by the sum of the years. Then, multiply by 10. That is the depreciation at first year. Yun yung nabawas na presyo doon sa 60,000. For example, tinanong ka, what will be the book value or the value at first year? Pag sinabing value, that is the current value at first year. So 60,000 minus 90.909. Again, you solve that by first cost minus the salvage over the sum of the years. Now, if you want to get the depreciation at second year, okay, so that is same, no, 9,000. Multiply this, okay? Okay, 9,000. Oh, 9 rather times, okay, so we just multiply it. Let's see kung yan yung sagot. So 60,000, 1, 2, 3 minus 10,000, 1, 2, 3 over 55. You multiply it by 9. Okay, so we have 818. Okay, 818.818. Then you multiply it by 8. You want to get the depreciation. That is not yet the total depreciation. That is the depreciation at third year. Okay, yan. And then, so on and so forth. Until you get the depreciation at last year. So, you just add all of this. If you are going to add all of this, that is the total depreciation. Yung nabawas doon sa original price. Okay? Now, if you just want to get the book value after 6 years, so just add all of this. Book value. This is the depreciation, total depreciation. That is the D at 6. Larger D. Kasi these are individual D. For small letter D refers to the depreciation at that year. Now, the total depreciation from the present up to 6th year, you just add all of this. Okay? Adding all of that, that is the depreciation at 6 years, 40,909.09. But the question here is the book value. So, ito yung nabawas doon sa original price na 60,000. So, what will be the value? 60,000 divided by 40. Minus 4909.09. The book value at 6 years is 19.090.91. Okay. However, we can solve this using calculator technique. Okay. Solution number 2 is by using calculator technique. Sum of the years digit method. Okay. Solution number 2. Rather, ano muna, no? Solution number 2 by sum of the years digit. So, instead of um, individually getting, as you can see here, we just multiply by a number, no? The FC minus SB over SYD by a number. We start with 10. Diba? We start with 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, meaning, N here represent to 10. Okay? So, minus M. M here represent to what year? So, let's say 6 years. So, magiging 7. 7 minus 10. 7 minus 10. Okay, so that is 3. So, let's substitute para makita natin. Sorry. 10 years, no? If you want to get the 6th year, this is 6. 10 minus 6 plus 1, kaya 5. 10 minus 6 plus 1. So, from 5 to 10, you get the summation. So, meaning you substitute here from 5 to 10, and then you subtract that. to 60,000. So, same lang din naman ang answer, 19,000. Yung total book value. Okay, so you just, again, you, you just sum from 5 to 10, no? 5 to 10. Parang ito pa rin yung solution in class, mas mabilis lang siya. Kasi gumamit ka ng summation from 5 to 10. Okay, 5 to 10. And instead of using that, ito na yung pinakamadali, no? Mode 3-3 pa. Okay, solution number 3. Mode 3-3. Okay, so just need to type in mode 3-3. Mode 3, 3 is quadratic. No, you just need to type the present value, the salvage value, 10 years, and then additional 11. Kasi in mode 3-3, we know that this is only 10 years salvage value. But may additional pa tayo na plus 1 year para maging tatlo yung input. Kasi sa mode 3-3, tatlo lagi yung input dyan. At 0 years, we have 60,000. Okay, that is the initial cost, the salvage value cost, 10,000. And then you are going to repeat the salvage value. Okay, you want to solve the book value. Book value is y. Okay, y. Y at 5 years, so therefore y 6 years pala, no? Book value at 6 years. Okay, book value. So, CA lang ulit. And then, apps, regression, and then y hat. Okay, then, 6 type 6 here. So, same answer. Okay, so the book value is 19,000 rather. Okay, same answer. 0990. Mode 3-3. Okay. If you want to get the total depreciation, yung nabawas doon sa original price, that is just 60,000 minus 19,000. That is the total depreciation. Okay, next. A power plant purchase a fire boiler for 525,000. It is estimated to have a scrap value. Scrap value is also the same as the salvage value. After 12 years, using the Matheson formula, find the depreciation charge. What is Matheson formula? Actually, that is declining balance method. So other books, other problems, other reference, board exam questions also ask this no Matheson formula, or that is also the declining balance method. For declining balance method, just use mode 3-6. Okay, kasi if you are going to memorize this formula, the declining, the Matheson formula, okay, so, ayan o, medyo masalimuot siya. So, just use mode 3-6, no, for you to get the book value, no, at any years. You're solving here the book value, no, for calculator technique. Mode 3-6, okay, again, for mode function, always use the present year and the salvage value year. Now, mode 3-6. Find the depreciation charge for fourth year. We're not looking for the book value, but the depreciation charge at book year. Fourth year, yung mababawas na presyo sa pang-apat na taon. Okay? Not the total depreciation. Yung mismong presyo lang na mababawas at that year. Kasi iba-iba yung presyo na nababawas every year. So, paano natin kukunin yun? Kunin natin yung book value ng third year and fourth year. So, what we're going to do, 0, 0, 12. Okay. Again, you always type the first cost and the salvage value cost. Okay, so let's solve y hat, no? For this, we are going to solve y hat. Y hat lang siya, no? 4y hat, 3y hat minus 4y hat. 3y hat is the book value at third year. Obviously, that is larger than the book value at fourth year. Get the depreciation, or ito yung nabawas na presyo mula doon sa third year to fourth year. Now, that we are not looking for the total depreciation, kasi pag total depreciation, it should be the present. Okay, instead of book value 3, it should be the present minus book value 4 to get the total depreciation for 4 years, no? Ito kasi fourth year lang, for the fourth year, not for 4 years. So those are different scenario. Okay, so just type 3y hat. Again, nasa apps siya. Regression 5 3y hat minus 4y hat. 4y hat. Okay, so that is 54,649.62. That is the depreciation charge at fourth year. Okay, if you want to get the depreciation charge at third year, so this is 3 minus 2 or 2 minus 3. Yan. Eh, mas malaki yung bawas, no? Nung third year. Yung first year, of course, palaki yan. Hanggang palit ng palit yan eh. The declining balance. And we also have the same question pala, no? Same method, Matheson formula or the double declining. Okay, you purchase, is it same given? Okay, same given. You purchase boiler for 525 and after 12 years, the salvage value is 30,000. Find the book value at the end of 7 years. Ito yung kanina ginagawa natin, no? Book value. Kasi automatic, if you type y hat here, that is already the book value. Find the book value at the end of 7 years. Yeah, that's it. 78,000. 98,867.55. Okay? Then finally, the last depreciation technique is the double declining balance method. Unfortunately, we don't have a formula here, but for double declining balance, we don't have ano here, calculator technique. So just use this formula. Book value or the future, book value kasi is the future amount, no? Na nabawasan na. Is equal to first cost multiply to 1 minus k. Almost similar siya doon sa compound interest natin. Future cost is equal to present. 1 plus siya doon, I raised to n. Pero dito class, minus k. Minus. Kasi doon sa previous discussion natin ng compound interest, future is always larger than the present. However, for depreciation, the future amount is always less than the first cost. So meaning kaya minus to guys. So how do we get the value of k? The value of k is 2 over n. What is n? The salvage years. O dito it is expected to have a life of 5 years. 2 over 5. Okay? So m, what is m? If you are looking for the book value at a certain years, what is the value, no? What is the value of this material for third year? Yan. Ito bang hinanap dito? 3 years eh. Okay? So, ano yung book value niya at 3 years? No? Anyway, ang value ng K is 0.4. O, ano yung book value na at third year? Okay, you just input the first cost. 1 minus 0.k, minus 1 minus k raised to m. Okay. So, m is the number of years that you are looking for the book value. So, the book value at third year is 241. However, we're not looking for the book value. We are looking for the accumulated depreciation. Pag sinabing accumulated, yung total na nabawas mula nung first year, total na nabawas. Okay? And this is not this small letter D ha. Okay? Yung nasolve natin kasi kanina sa previous problem, ito, small letter D. Yung nabawas sa taon lang na iyon. Ito class, mula nung first year, okay, ilan yung total na bawas? Of course, first cost, ibawas mo lang siya sa first cost. Okay, so the total depreciation larger D or the accumulated depreciation first cost minus book value. Okay, at that year. So, subtracting that total depreciation is 878,080. Okay? So, that's it now for the depreciation. We have straight line method, the sinking fund method, the sum of the years digit, declining um declining balance method, okay? Declining balance method, double declining balance method. So, 5 depreciation type. Okay? So, for the straight line method, use mode 3-2. And then, yung mga diniscuss kanina na mga calculator technique, you can utilize that, no? Then finally, we have the last topic for the engineering economy, which is um, the break-even analysis. Now, for break-even analysis, you're just going to equate when you say break-even, walang kinita uh, doon sa business or binenta. No. So for this problem, the cost of producing a computer disk is as follows. So they are going to produce diskette. The material cost, 7 pesos per each. Labor cost, 2 pesos per each. Other expenses, 1.5 each. Fixed expense, 69,000 per month. How many diskette must be produced each month for break even if each diskette is worth 45,000? So you just get the cost is equal to revenue. Yung cost is yung total na ginastos during the production and revenue yung total na benta. Okay, so for the cost, 7 times, we are looking for the number of pieces, no, per month na nagagawa. 7 pesos, material cost, 2 pesos, labor, 1.5, other expense, and the fixed rate per month, other expenses per month, 69,000. So you're going to sell that for 45 pesos. That is the revenue. 45 pesos each. Okay, 45 pesos each. Yeah. Okay, so with that, shift solve. Okay, we can now solve the value of X. That is the number of pieces for break even. Now, if you want to get a revenue, sell more than 2,000. Diba? If you want to get larger revenue than the cost, sell more than 2,000 pesos pieces. Okay, that's it for the engineering economy. Thank you guys for listening.